Hi, everyone, and welcome into this latest edition of the Michigan State Spartans Insider Podcast. I'm your beat reporter for Michigan State Spartans on SI, Aidan Champion. Got back from Moneyball a little while ago. This was week two, and I'm I'm noticing something about this team that, a lot of fans are concerned about. I mentioned it to be one of the concerns I thought that this team was facing going into next season was a concern last year, of course, but the three-point shooting, I think, may be overlooked with this coming team. Last year, of course, Michigan State shot only 31.1% from outside, and that came back to bite them in tournament play, of course, in that Auburn game as well. But um, I think, despite losing Jaden Akins, who, wasn't the most consistent three-point shooter by any means last year. Um, he was, um, one of your better shooters. Despite losing him, despite losing Jace, despite losing Trey Holloman, I do think that you might have something here. Um, I'm really liking what we're seeing from Divine Ugochukwu, which may surprise people because that was a major concern with him coming in, was his ability to shoot the three. A lot of fans complained, great, got a backup point guard, but he can't shoot, which is what this team desperately needed. And they might be wrong. Um, he said tonight that he is, I guess I'm talking to you Wednesday. He said Tuesday that I, I I'm all about being technical. Uh, he said on Tuesday that he has been emphasizing his three-point shooting. Something he's been working on this offseason, and it looks like it in Moneyball now. I know it's Moneyball. I know the defense, there's not a whole lot of it, and it's really just pick up and for show, but shooting is shooting, and he certainly seems to be a better shooter than we had anticipated. That's something to be on the lookout for, to be hopeful about. And it's not just him. Um, Colin Carr had said that Jeremy fears that his three-point shooting has improved this offseason. And that's big. You want your point guard to be a great shooter, but Jeremy, wasn't the most consistent shooter last year. His specialty is running the point, doing what he does best, and being the floor general. But it's just, I mean, if Jeremy Fears can consistently be effective from deep, watch out because, um, I mean, this team, which, there were concerns of its scoring ability at times last year, could be a better scoring team than we anticipated. And to have a point guard who, like I said, that's expected of your point guard. A typical good point guard can shoot the three. Wasn't Jeremy's strong suit last year, but he's improving on it. Um, and that will just be a major bonus for this team if he can be consistent from deep. And then Cohen Carr, we know, has been improving on uh, his three-point shooting, but I'm still not sold just yet. Um, he's been knocking them down in Moneyball, but again, it's Moneyball. Take it with a grain of salt, but I do. think he will be improved in that area. I don't think it will be something where, he's one of your better outside shooters, but if he's open, he's got the green light. And he did last year. There were times he hit some shots. The corner, especially, was where he seemed, better suited. But Cohen Carr, I mean, that's going to be one of your better players next year. And if he can develop a shot, that makes you even more dangerous. We know Jackson Kohler is a good shooter, and I would anticipate him to be more consistent next season. Um, Kurtang, one of the best shooters on the team last season, didn't get to show it much, but um, he's going to likely be your backup shooting guard. He's a great shooter. And then the guy in front of him, likely to be in front of him, Trey Fort, I think will be your best shooter. I don't think people are talking about his shooting ability enough. Um, he is a really good shooter, and I think that's um, one of the things that makes him the perfect shooting guard. Obviously, it's in the name of the position, but I think that's something in his game that's a little overlooked because especially when the talk of Michigan State's transfer portal haul was initially Caleb Glenn and his shooting ability. And now, of course, Caleb Glenn will miss all of next season with his injury. And that was one of the big reasons that was such a major blow was because of his shooting ability um, on a team that really needed it. Well, I'm telling you, I think this team has got some shooters. Not, I'm not saying they're going to be exceptionally better in that area next season, but I don't think it's something that will, is going to be a major detriment for them. There's a chance they could be a better three-point shooting team than last season. And I just think I'm just pointing it out as something that maybe isn't a concern. I'm not saying they're a great shooting team. Um, I just, I don't think it's a hindrance. Um, so that's something, if you're looking for things to cling on to be hopeful about with next year's team, that's one of them. Trying to think of other guys I've missed. Uh, you know, we know Jordan Scott can shoot. I don't know exactly how much of a role he's going to have next season. Probably will have a little more significant a role with Caleb Glenn out, but probably won't see too much time. Um, I think I've covered it, but yeah, I do think you do have some guys who can shoot the rock on this team. Whether how consistent that will be remains to be seen, but um, aside from maybe Cam Ward, which you don't really need him to be a great three-point shooter, I don't see anyone that's and Carson Cooper, of course, but other than that, I don't see anyone who's really lagging in that area. Um, haven't even really gotten to see Jesse McCullough, but so can't really speak on him. But yeah, I don't think it's as much of a concern as people have been thinking. So that's my take on it. Um, but yeah, Moneyball's been a lot of fun. It's been fun seeing these guys and seeing the returners, seeing new guys and how they're adjusting. I do think the the early chemistry has been building up pretty well, and I think they're at a good spot at this point in the off season. So, as always, thank you everybody for tuning in. Very much appreciate your engagement. As always, hope you're having a great week, and I will talk to you next time. Thank you so much.